All right. Let's do this. I like to start on time, and it is on time. Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. Thank you for caring about our country and what's going on, and thank you for showing up and being part of this event. We really appreciate this. Yes. Okay, thank you. Greetings from Indivisible Missoula, a group of volunteers who are also deeply concerned about our country and our democracy. So, why are we here today? Two simple reasons. For one, to express our strong concerns about all of the actions being taken by the Trump-Musk administration, or some might say Musk-Trump administration, regime, yes, and Congress over the last 8 weeks. Number two is to express these concerns directly to our elected federal representatives, Congressman Ryan Zinke, Senator Steve Daines, and Senator Time Sheehy. Please welcome them.
Cowards!
Yes. Yes, they are. Sadly, tonight, we will have to do this indirectly as none of these representatives have shown up in person or via Zoom, even though they were invited. We also invited them to send an aide. So we tried to make it as easy as possible for them to be represented here tonight. They decided they did not want to do that, okay? But with your help, we will get our messages through. And here we are with the thing I've said about 50 million times before, but here I am again. So if you want to ask a question live at the microphone, you can write them on, this is not actually a note card, but it looks like one of these note cards. And when you're done, please put your name on it and please write legibly and concisely. And raise your hand and one of our volunteers will come around and collect it. Also, we have these sticky notes, and if you don't necessarily want to say something on the microphone, or even if you do, you can write your message on one of these sticky notes, and please don't get up during the program, but maybe leave them on your chair or put them up on your way out. But you can see we've got 3 pieces of paper over here, 3 pieces of paper over there, and we will be delivering your messages and your questions to our legislators later in the week. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Sayer to facilitate the town hall, but first, I need to let you know and to thank MCAT because this session is being live streamed and recorded by Missoula Community Access Television as part of a media assistance grant donated to Indivisible Missoula by MCAT. We love MCAT. Okay, take it away, Jim.
No, we've got to go to the agenda. My name's Jim Sayer, and just a co-organizing volunteer with a group of about a dozen. But we had an organizing meeting a week and a half ago, Saturday, in half this room. We had 130 people show up for the organizing room. How many of you were there? So, yeah, we have never, ever had an organizing meeting where you get 130 people show up to organize the meeting. So we had to slim down rather than grow out. So the agenda tonight, we're going to try and move it because we have 1 hour. We even had the director of the library here. We tried to squeeze a few more minutes, but no, we got to get done by 7:30 so we can actually disassemble this room and get out of here by 8 o'clock. But I know some people will go to the Union Club because I hear it's St. Patrick's Day today. Is that right? Thank you for all the green. I didn't wear much green, just a little here. So you've got the welcome. We're going to go into ground rules for a minute. We are going to welcome our elected officials and highlight their oath of office. How many of you have ever wanted to take the oath of office for a federal elected position? How many? Come on. So a few of you. So you're going to get to read along if you wish, okay? And then we're going to have opening questions. We actually have asked about 9 people to ask questions because the whole point of tonight, because we don't have our representatives here, is for you to be able to ask them questions. So you'll be doing it by all the writing exercises that Meredith just mentioned, but we'll have about 9 people who will do a 1 to 1.5 minute, no more, question, maybe with a little context, and we will move through those. They'll address different issues that are of importance to them, some very personal. And then we're going to open it up to these microphones also for other people. We'll be picking cards out. Not everybody is going to get to do a question tonight because we would be here till midnight or past it. So we can't do that. But we are going to collect all the questions. We're going to pull it all together, and that way we can assemble this and send it to our representatives, because we'll keep this going, because we want those meetings with these representatives, don't we? Yes. Okay. All right. Good. So anyways, and then at the end, for about 10 minutes, we're going to have action items. We have an incredible opportunity tomorrow. Somebody's organizing a march for Medicaid, and it's one block. You can do this. Almost anybody could do this. So it's going to go from the Union Club over to Steve Daines' office, which is really close by. But that's just tomorrow, and then there will be another bunch of items that you can do. And people can shout out a few items, too, as we close out, because we don't want to lose that opportunity to get your ideas in the mix. And then we're going to adjourn at 7:30. So real quick, one of our volunteers is a skilled facilitator, unlike myself. And so she pulled together some ground rules for us tonight. Respectful dialogue, so please engage respectfully. No disruptions, no heckling, no booing. Oh, already broke that one. No personal attacks or inflammatory language. Okay, so watch the cursing. And again, honestly, this is being filmed by MCAT, and it's being live streamed. So people are watching this, and hopefully people that are thinking anew about maybe how they voted or what they're thinking about politics these days. So remember that too. This isn't just supposed to be an echo chamber because you're mad or anything. So I just want to point that out, that as we ask questions, as we talk about things going on, bear in mind that this is going to be shared with many, many, hopefully thousands of people. So number 2, opportunity for participation. We will do our best to try and enable as many people to ask questions as possible. Everybody must keep their comments to no more than 1 to 1.5 minutes, and we will have a timekeeper. Carrie, that guy over there, the leprechaun, he's going to be on it. He's got a cool little device here. I'll show you 30-second and bang. Okay, number 3. Well done, Carrie. Best outfit, too. Fact-based discussion. To the extent that you can, please root your question and statement in facts and focus on one subject, please. Don't go all over the map. We know there are many things out there that are being torn down or dealt with, so be concise. If you are asked to speak, please be concise, because again, we've picked up 2 minutes, and so we've got 52 minutes till shutdown, okay? So those are the ground rules, okay? That all clear? Everybody? If you understand those, raise your hand. Woo. All right, very good. This looks like most everybody. All right, so when we met to organize, and literally we started organizing this 9 days ago, right? 9 days ago. We had several members of our group who were very, very concerned about the fact that these members, these elected representatives of ours, 3 of the 4 who should be here tonight, took an oath of office as started the latest Congress. And so we wanted to start off our session by welcoming our elected representatives. Do you want to welcome them again? Okay. All right. A warm Missoula welcome. They all swore an oath of office, and we do think it's important that we all hear what they pledged under oath. So if you want, you can join us right now and read this oath of office, because I think it's worth it, and I think it'll resonate through the library. We got about 300 people in this room, and if we all say the oath of office right now, you can say your name or you can say one of their names. But let me lead the way. Okay, ready? I Okay, that was like a wave up here. I don't know how it felt to you, but it was a wave. It was coursing around. So, but that was good. I think we got the oath. I think you're all sworn in. And out of the oath and in our discussion, we said our first question to our representatives would be, given that you made this solemn oath, how are you truly supporting and defending our Constitution? We have watched as the Trump-Musk administration has undercut or ignored Congress and your approved policies and budgets. Are you in Congress not a co-equal branch of government? That's question number one, right? Our next questions would be, as our elected representatives, why aren't you showing up in person to meet with your constituents? How do you, quote, represent when you do not meet or communicate with people in the Missoula area? When will you do true town halls open to the general public? So, and I will say, this is not a new phenomenon. I remember going to an event over at the Oval, or at the UC, where Steve Daines was speaking, because he would not, and this was in 2017, he would not hold a public meeting. So we finally had about, I don't know if any of you were there, but 50 or 100 of us were out there calling out, because even the conference organizers that he was speaking at wouldn't do that. So this is just one example of, how they will not show up for an open public forum on issues of the day. So that's why I got involved. I have different political opinions, but the fact that they will not show up at all is just, to me, wrong. So, okay, so those were our basic questions of democracy and representation. They were important to our organizing group, and we want answers. And we're not going to let up, are we? Are we? No. In fact, I think we're going to have to get a clock. I saw some city council members here, but maybe we could put a clock up by the X's on days without public forum with our federal elected representatives. We'll keep ticking, when we hit day 100, we'll get together again here, right, and have another session. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and you did a great job on the oath, thank you. We're going to go to questions, and we're priming the pump a little bit. We asked 9 different individuals, actually in one case I think it's 2 people, to come up and ask questions to these folks. And you're welcome to cheer or anything when they do come up. So I'm going to start with Lorraine Bond. Where are you, Lorraine? Come on up. And then I'm going to ask Joyce, and is Phil here? Yes. Okay, and Joyce and Phil, would you come up over to this microphone and get ready? And then over on this one. So you get ready, so go ahead, Lorraine.
Okay, I'm here
and identify yourself, too.
Okay, my name is Lorraine Bond, and I'm here to talk about Medicare and Medicaid. In August of 2023, during my wellness visit, I found out that I had breast cancer and heart disease. $260,000 plus later, I'm still receiving treatment. I'm not sure if that treatment can continue if they cut or privatize Medicare. Reoccurrence could be a death sentence, and I'm in the middle class and I have insurance. Now, picture a single mother with several children, one of whom is sick. What are her choices? Take them to the doctor when it isn't absolutely necessary, or wait to see if they get better? Well, I was that child that would have died if my mother had waited another week. So my question is this: when are our representatives going to think of the health and well-being of their constituents instead of lining the already full pockets of the 1%?
Thank you, Lorraine. I want to make sure that everybody turned off their phones, too. Joyce Westerber, right here. And also, I'd like to ask Tony and Mariel to come over to this one. Go ahead, Joyce.
Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for not being here.
Oh, it may not be on. This is a microphone committee. Well done. Well done. Oh, not well done.
It worked a minute ago. Should have
again.
Okay, Joyce.
Thanks
go for it.
for not being here. My name is Joyce Westerber. I am one of your constituents. My topic today is Social Security. First, let us be absolutely clear. Social Security is not an entitlement. Unless you consider your bank savings account an entitlement. It's our money, and we and our employers contributed. Social Security has benefited everyone in this room and online, either personally or someone you know and care about. We have a dear friend who suffers from MS, cannot work, although she would love to, and she survives, just barely, on disability. Believe me, you don't get a horrible disease just to get a free ride. Conservatives have hated Social Security since it was enacted by FDR. Social Security is hugely and deservedly popular, helping Americans at every stage of life. So conservatives have to be sneaky in their efforts to destroy it. They are following their usual playbook to undercut confidence, weakening its support structure, making it as difficult as possible to access. Offices are being closed, already understaffed, their staff is being fired. Phone waits are going to explode. Correcting mistakes will take much longer. People eligible for disability will wait much longer for eligibility interviews and have much more difficulty in getting to an office. Now Musk's gang of unvetted young hackers, genius at writing code but otherwise clueless, have gained access to our financial details. The potential for irreparable damage, either from ignorance or malice, is real. We call on those who are supposed to be defending the interests of their constituents, at a minimum, restore the funding and the people that have been disposed of.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Okay, I think they heard that. Phil? Could you identify yourself?
My name is Philip Burgess, and I worked with veterans as an activist and a spokesperson for years here. I also worked for the VA for a number of years. Military men take a vow too. They swear to uphold the Constitution. And when they do that, defending the Constitution comes first, at the top of the list. What do you say to these guys when they come back from their various battlefields with their various wounds and their Purple Hearts from defending and protecting the Constitution, and they look around and they see the leadership of this country methodically hacking away at that very Constitution? The second thought that I have is the relationship between veterans and the VA. The VA is not just a hospital. The VA is not just a service provider. It's a promise made and a promise kept. And when these guys come back, and when they come back and they see that, maybe later on in life they see that threatened and even taken away, what do you say to them? This is the refuge. This is their safe place. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Tony?
My name is Tony Davis, and I'm to talk on public lands, America's best idea. Representative Zinke, you along with Representative Gabe Vasquez of New Mexico have sponsored a bill, the Public Lands in Public Hands Act, which would protect public access to nearly 30 million acres of public lands in Montana. Bravo! But have you only just lately seen the light? In 2017, as Secretary of the Interior, You were tasked by then-President Trump to review 27 national monuments. Your ensuing report suggested shrinking Zinke, including Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante. In regard to this topic of public lands, Article 4 of the Constitution says, "The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States." Note that it says the Congress, not the executive branch. Trump and Musk are the ones cutting back staff and funding at national monuments and elsewhere. Representative Zinke, where do you and the current Congress stand? Gabe Vasquez might ask, does the Congress have the cojones to do as the Constitution says and stand up to the executive branch? The U.S. Park Service generated $55 billion in economic benefit, mainly to local gateway economies, this on a budget of $3.6 billion. What Elon Musk and Doggy are doing has nothing to do with efficiency and everything to do with privatizing public goods for the enrichment of a few. Turning public lands over to the states would result in the states, who do not have enough money to maintain them, having to sell them off to private owners.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, we have Mariel Leslie. You can go there if you like. And then also I want to, before she starts, Anna Semple, if you could come here. And then also, did Ellie Costello come? Is Ellie here? Oh, yeah, so come on over here, Ellie. And Abby Husa, would you come on over here behind Mariel? Okay, and please, Mariel, join us.
Thanks. Good evening. My name is Mariel Leslie. I am a recently reinstated probationary federal employee. But please note, I'm here on my own time presenting my own views. Technically, I'm the fisheries biologist for the Bitterroot National Forest, but I'm on administrative leave, which really just feels more like I live in limbo right now. And note that while I'm on administrative leave, I'm getting a paycheck, but the taxpayers are not receiving the product of my work. I could go on about my experience, but I think enough of us have heard about the experience of the federal employee, so I'd rather direct a point to our Congressman Ryan Zinke, who said in a recent press release, quote, "When the previous administration reclassified thousands of experienced U.S. Forest Service seasonal workers as probationary employees, they got caught in the reduction of force. The recent ruling to bring back those employees creates an opportunity for DOJ to set their sights on the real waste. The overpaid lawyers, biologists, environmental zealots, and top-heavy bureaucracy. The guys and gals at the front lines maintaining trails, harvesting trees, and supporting fire camps are seasonal and should be classified as such as they have been before Biden changed it. Respectfully, sir, you are mistaken. This is not a reduction in force. These were illegal terminations, as now 2 district courts, the appellate court, and the MSB have all decided. I work as a biologist. I am the fire support you speak of. I am the front line you speak of. I am not a seasonal employee, nor can I be. These terminations do not address the top-heavy bureaucracy. I'm a GS7. I make $49,000 a year, and I rent a 1-bedroom apartment. Additionally, over 80% of the employees who were terminated make less than I do. I am the one that helps dream up restoration projects for the forest land that supports and enhances the important recreational fisheries economy on Forest Service property. My job is simply to ensure that the U.S. Forest Service serves as a model citizen following environmental policies that the federal government and its citizens decided to enact. We are not the problem. I would never presume to act as a roadblock to federal projects, and neither would my colleagues. Let us work. If your constituents and you as your representatives disagree with the environmental laws of this country, you have the right and the duty to seek to change them. That is democracy. And should you do so, I'll still work to enforce those laws. but you have to let us work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariel. Okay, next up, Anna Semple.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Anna Semple, and I am the mother of a 5-year-old boy who is about to start kindergarten next fall at our local school. And like any parents, we are excited and we're nervous about what that's going to look like, both just in a regular year as well as this year in particular. My son has Down syndrome and will be participating in the special education program at his school. He already received 3 years of home-based services and then 2 years of special ed preschool through the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which is one of many programs that is supervised and enforced by the Department of Education. And before IDEA was enacted, only 1 in 5 children with disabilities receive public education. Without the protections of that, my bright and capable little boy may end up in a classroom by himself without interaction with his peers. And he learns so well with other kids, but he needs that extra support. And special education is a choreographed dance of teachers and parents and kids and therapists and administrators all working together in a really complex way because each child is getting a tailored education for their own needs. Dismantling the Department of Education, moving IDEA supervision to a department that doesn't understand it or just writing it off entirely would change his life and the 7.5 million children with IEPs in our nation irrevocably. So I ask you what you are going to do to support education for everybody in this country. Thank you.
So before we go to Ellie, would Nan and Jackie come up to get ready for the microphone? Are you seeing any change in expression up here as they? So Ellie, please.
I'm short, so I'll do this. Hello, senators and representative. You might know my name, Ellie Costello, from the many voicemails I've left you in the last couple of months. I own a farm business here in Missoula, and I was awarded a USDA Rural Energy for America program grant to provide cost sharing on the installation of solar panels at my farm. The funds for this USDA program are currently frozen and likely may never arrive. Many farmers in our community are in dire situations while they wait for reimbursement on money that has already been spent. One farmer I spoke to in Montana mentioned they had $850,000 of unpaid federal funds. My questions to Senators Sheehy and Daines in particular, who are themselves business people, are how are they going to hold the federal government accountable to the contracts they made with Montana farm businesses? And while these are some of the important USDA programs that are currently frozen, what steps are our representatives, you gentlemen here, taking to support farmers and the critical USDA programs like SNAP and food and nutrition services that are currently on the chopping block?
All right, Abby.
Good evening. My name's Abby Huseth, and I live here in Missoula. I work for a local nonprofit that incidentally is also impacted by the illegal federal funding freeze. But I'm mostly here tonight as a parent of 2 young children. I have 2 little boys, age 4 and 7, and I'm here, of course, for a lot of the same reasons that folks in this room are here tonight. And one of them is that I'm extremely concerned about the cuts to the Environmental Protection Agency staff and programs and the administration's radical plan to roll back dozens of critical environmental protections. I was pregnant with my older son in the summer of 2017, which I'm sure many in this room remember as the worst wildfire smoke season in a generation here in Missoula. It was miserable. Knowing what we do about how bad wildfire smoke is for everyone, but especially babies and young children, I was worried that every breath I was taking was somehow endangering my unborn baby. It's a situation that more and more parents are faced with as our wildfire seasons keep getting worse. But instead of cutting the climate pollution that's causing these worsening fires, this extremist administration is doing the opposite, cutting funding for science and slashing protections for our air and water. As a parent, there are plenty of things I'm worried about. The literal air my children are breathing and water they're drinking every day should not be one of them. It has nothing to do with efficiency. It's really hard to come to any other conclusion than that Trump and Musk and our Montana representatives, if you all support this, are siding with the big energy companies who want to keep polluting and just telling kids and families like mine that our health doesn't matter. So my question for our senators tonight and our representative is, where do you stand? Are you on the side of corporate polluters? Will you stand up and protect the health of Montana kids and families?
Yeah. Okay, so after these folks are done speaking, we are going to get to the audience participation part of this event. And so when I call your name, please come up to the microphone or one of the microphones, and then I will give you your question and you can read it. And if you don't want to read it, I can read it.
Just do their question.
What? Anyway, can we have Tom Peterson up here, please? And Kate Wilburn at this microphone. I will give you your questions back if you wrote one. And then at the other microphone, Robbie Lieben, please. And Barbara Michelman. Thank you.
Okay, Nan and Jackie.
Hi, my name's Nan Condit, and I represent a local breast cancer organization called Silver Lining that we started 7 years ago with this doesn't so much impact our funding personally, but from a personal point of view, we have many ladies that are here that are alive today because of trial drugs, and there's some with stage 4 cancer. If all my Silver Lining ladies could stand up, that would be great. We feel very adamant about what this is. We collaborate with the University of Montana in a new endeavor, the Cardiopulmonary and Cancer Rehab Lab, and that funding has been stalled, which we are, obviously very upset about. I wouldn't be alive today without a drug called Herceptin, which was discovered in 2004. I know many of my ladies over there today, if our drugs and billions have been cut in cancer research right now, they're on hold. If they don't have other drugs that are available, and so my question to our representatives and congressmen, if your wife, your mother, your daughter has stage 4, stage 3, whatever type of cancer, how would you feel about this? And would you maybe change your mind about funding? And with that, I'm going to introduce Jackie, one of our ladies who's also done research at the University of Montana.
I'm Jackie Reimers, and my question to Representative Zinke, Senator Daines, and Senator Sheehy is, what will you do to keep funding for the NIH, National Institute of Health, research done? I worked at the Department of Biological Sciences here at the university for 23 years. We were funded by grants from the NIH, and our lab worked on the P53 cancer gene and the mechanisms of DNA mutations. We were frugal in our expenses and shared equipment and resources. All the professors did. I also am a breast cancer survivor and am thankful every day for the years of federally funded research that has saved thousands of lives.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next speakers. I just want to say that when we planned out this session, we thought it would be powerful, but I just want to say thank you again to the speakers that just prepared. So thank you. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Meredith. She's going to keep calling out names. Tommy?
Yeah, hi, I'm Tommy Peterson. Senators and Representative, I'm here to speak and ask you if you support the arts and culture here in Montana and in Missoula, and I couldn't think of a better place to say this than in our incredible world-class library. Just a few days ago, on March 14th, President Trump issued an executive order continuing the reduction of the federal bureaucracy, directing further cuts to the Institute of Museum and Library Services, an agency that is already operating at a minimum level, making up only 0.0046%, small, of the overall federal budget. IMLS, Institute of Museum and Library Services, efficiently provides critical resources to libraries and museums in all 50 states and territories. This executive order would essentially gut IMLS within 7 days. So I am asking you, standing here, and we are sitting here in our world-class library saying, do you support executive orders that reduce support to museums and libraries across the country and here in Montana and here in Missoula?
Thank you, and thank everybody who has spoken and everything. Okay, so I know this is a little bit awkward, but I've got the cards that I have to pass back to the speakers. Kate, let me just do this now. Robbie?
Yep, it's me.
And Barbara.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like I'm next. My name's Kate Wilburn.
Yeah.
I didn't plan ahead a long presentation, but it seems to me that Donald Trump's recent behavior and his behavior all the way since he was elected the first time have me wondering if he's actually an undercover Soviet spy. He's already an illegal person in terms of our courts, but that would be treasonous. And I wonder if each of you, Senator Daines, Senator Sheehy, and Representative Zinke, are encouraging our Congress, including your particular staff, to be asking this question.
Let's just alternate between the microphones, okay?
My name is Robbie Lieben, and I'm an organizer with Western Montana DSA and a founding member of Montana Jewish Voice for Peace.
Yeah.
And so this is a question to everybody here as much as it is to our representatives. Are we here just to resist the Republicans and Trump, or are we here to resist both parties? Because the status quo prior to Trump was unacceptable. And we need to understand that if we go back to that status quo, we will get Trump and MAGA 3.0 even worse than it is now. And so what we have to do is, in my opinion, is to actually change the whole country. We have to change our economy. Both parties are parties of billionaires. You know, we cannot, of course, it's fresh in our minds that both parties support genocide. Both parties support climate destruction. Both parties have been comfortable with the continual oppression of communities of color in this country. And I fear that one of the reasons so many people have come out because of MAGA is because it's now starting to affect white middle-class people. And we need to understand that we cannot go back to being able to be blissful ignorance of all the repression that happens in this country. And we can look at what's going on with the Ken Martin, who's the new head of the Democratic National Committee, says, we're going to accept money from good billionaires. What the hell? You know, billionaires are the problem. Well, the wealthy are the problem. Capitalism is the problem. We need to address that. And if we don't, we will be stuck where we are now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, before our next speaker, I want to bring up some other speakers. So if we can have, Grace Schellenberger, Shelley Schellenberger, and Pamela Bishop come to this microphone, and Sue Brown, Rachel, no last name, no last initial, so it starts with, please explain why. And, looks like we've got two, do we have two Pamela Bishops? Yes, only one question per person. Okay, so those folks, if you can come up to the microphones, please. Oh, and please try to keep it as concise as possible because we are trying to hear from as many people as possible. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Barbara Michelman, and I actually have two, but they're very quick questions. The first question is to these three gentlemen, who do we have to pay off to get you to quit lying? And my second question is, what's being done, and this is for the organization and everybody here, what's being done to recruit young people?
Grace? I'm Sue. No, Sue. We came over here. Over there. Sorry. Grace? Shelley? Rachel. Oh, Shelley. Yes. Okay. Rachel. There we go. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Pamela? I'm Sue. Okay, away we go. We're just going to go this way.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming to meet with us, your constituents in Missoula. I actually have two questions. My first one is, this is Montana, and joking aside, why are you afraid to meet with your constituents? If it's because someone told you not to, then should you wonder, as I do, who you represent? Montana or non-Montanans, your political party, your potential, and I'm sorry, I got a little angry here, your potential future dictator. Anyone who reads and understands history knows how that story ends. I just want to know why.
Good evening. My name is Shelley Schellenberger, and what I have to say is that while it's important to hold the GOP accountable, I'm asking the bigger question, which is, what are we doing? Who are we lining up to combat what we're seeing? Who are we putting into force that can actually be a viable candidate to win against these people? Thank you.
I have shrunk. Thank you. My name is Pamela Bishop, and I just have a simple question. It could go to all three of you, but specifically I called Senator Tim Sheehy's office the other day, and I asked about Social Security cuts. I am living on Social Security, and actually I'm not really living completely on it because I have to take a part-time job in order to make ends meet in Missoula because the cost of living is so high. But I asked the nice gentleman, Evan, I think it was his name, who answered the phone, what cuts are you planning on making to Social Security? And he said that Senator Tim Sheehy would always protect Montana Social Security recipients. And I would like to know exactly how you plan on doing that. Thank you.
What are you doing to protect
people who with disabilities.
Thank you. Okay, before we hear from our next questioner, we've got some more folks. So Julie Chapman, come on down to this microphone. Marianne Lorette Rust, also come on down to this one. And Carrie Gunderson over here. And then to this one, Ray Curtis, Susan Matter, and Cammie Edgar. Okay. Yes.
Hi, my name is Rachel Feigley. I'm a constituent from Seeley Lake, Montana. And I was a public servant for 34 and a half years with the Forest Service. And by doing that, working for USDA, we always served at the pleasure of the executive branch through budgets that were brought to us from Congress, and also always had to uphold the laws from the Justice Department. My question is, please explain why you support the dismantling of the 3 separate branches of government. And as a quick follow-up, why did you give your power of Congress to this executive branch?
My name is Julie Chapman, and I have several questions. First of all, why are you, and I mean all 3 of you, and Elon Musk gutting critical agencies, people that fight wildfires, research life-saving treatments and bird flu, help Americans get Social Security and Medicare, go after wealthy tax cheats, keep our food safe, feed school kids, stop the spread of illness, and take care of veterans? Question 2, why are you, Trump, and Musk, the regime, shredding a system and world order that has enabled 80 years of peace, prosperity, and stability for our country? Why do you hate democracy so much that you're willing to kick allies, stomp on Ukraine, and let Trump kiss Putin's ass? As David Frum said, it takes a special kind of genius to F up the U.S.-Canada relationship. What are you doing about it?
I'm Ray Curtis. It's nice to be able to shoot a question at you. My question is, doesn't it make you extremely sad as an American that just in a matter of weeks, the U.S. has undeniably lost its standing amongst friends and allies in the free world?
My name is Dr. Carrie Gunderson. You hear from me often, by phone, by email, text, you name it, you know me. Carrie Gunderson. I live in Lake County, where 43% of household personal income is from Social Security. Please answer yes or no. Will you vote to cut Social Security?
My name is Susan Matter, and this issue has already been touched on, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, but I just want to speak out about what that means for Montanans. As you know, many Montana communities are sparsely populated, many rural towns, and what this means is that cuts would come to our great Montana ebook and audiobook service, Montana Library to Go. It would mean cuts to library staff in the state office in Helena, and those people are people that we rely on to support our rural libraries, which are lifelines for Montana constituents.
And also, it would restrict the access to interlibrary loans. As you know, many of these libraries do not have resources to buy the books that people need or to get the information that people need. This is how they get it. So my question to you is, why do you want to restrict access to information and books for your constituents? Why is this good for them?
Gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, considering Montana's economy, which is made up largely of tourism, of the Forest Service and Park Service, and research grants for the universities, and the service, so many industries in Montana, are you in favor of crashing our economy, period? Yes or no?
And this is going to be our last, thank you, our last live question, but we will collect any cards that anybody has and make sure they get to our legislators.
Hi, my name is Cammie Edgar, and I'm a constituent from Stevensville, and I say that every single day on the phone when I am recording messages for you, since I very rarely get to hear from you in person. Montana is the state with the economy most impacted by all of the threatened Trump tariffs. Even if they don't get fully implemented, the continued threats make it difficult for our businesses and our state economy to plan. How are you standing up for average Montanans in the face of the tariff chaos?
So we're up here and we are feeling the heat. We're just feeling it as people are coming in with these questions. Extraordinary. Thank you all for preparing the questions. We have about 5 minutes left. I mean, time is flying by. And we have to end on a note of action. We are, as Meredith said, going to collect all the questions, including the ones that are going by Post-it up here. We're going to deliver these, these actual analog messages to these three dudes. And we're going to keep working to try and get an in-person meeting with them, a public forum, not just something that they control. So that's definitely one of the things we've got to work on post-meeting. But you're going to receive a resource guide digitally. And there are copies there, resource guide with information about how you can get engaged, information about what's going on in public affairs right now. So that's available analog, or you'll get it digitally too. Yep. Okay, and then also we have websites and social media for both Indivisible Missoula. You'll also see it for Missoula Resist. How many of you are on going to either the websites or to the Facebook pages for Missoula Resist? Anybody here? Oh yeah, okay, everybody, pretty much. And we'll. April 5th is a Saturday. Oh. Which means we can actually get there. Okay. We'll come right back to it. Tomorrow, I mentioned at noon, right over here at the Union Club, people will be gathering to march over to Steve Daines' office, which is about a block away, to protest in favor of Medicaid and maintaining Medicaid at its current levels. So right out of the box, there is an opportunity. And as was mentioned, God, we got that. We were talking about that the other day. So it's Friday, though, right? The national rally. Is it Saturday? It is Saturday the 5th? Okay. My mistake. So Saturday, April 5th, national rally, similar to the ones that have been held earlier over at the courthouse. That doesn't mean it will be at the courthouse yet. I don't know if that's been settled yet. So the place hasn't been settled, but mark your calendar for noon on Saturday, April 5th. And I've been to both of the ones at the courthouse. The first one, I think, had about 200. The next one had about 300. Why can't we have several thousand people there on April 5th? And also on a Saturday. Okay, so we have about 4 minutes left. Does anybody else have a very, very brief announcement on something related to organizing or that? So come on, shoot on up here really fast. If you have a quick announcement, shoot on up here.
I'm Susan with Common Good Missoula, and next Wednesday, the 26th,
we're having a listening session. We're going to invite everybody in Missoula to come, and we'll break into small groups and listen to everybody's ideas and hopefully come up with a strategy of how to move forward.
And where is it going to be?
It's going to be at the university, at the Phyllis Washington Education Building, at
Okay.
the Ollie
Thanks.
Ballroom.
We'll get that out there too to people, but thank you, Susan.
Wednesday at 3 p.m. will be the hearing in the state legislature, the State Administration Committee for the Senate, about the call for the Senate Resolution 4 by Andrea Olson, calling for the Congress to pass the constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United and get wealth and corporate power out of our elections and our politics. And I think if that had been done, we wouldn't be where we are today. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to do one more. Please.
I had heard, and I hope someone here can confirm, that Ryan Zinke is going to be at American Legion in Hamilton on Thursday. I don't know the time. 8:30 in the morning.
Really?
There
Okay.
you go. Everybody knows where to be on Thursday, right?
All right. Hamilton. Okay. Thank you. Well, it would be nice to go
Valley
take 300
Rebels.
people down to go. Okay, everybody. Let's focus for 1 minute because you've been extraordinary. Everybody's been extraordinary. We've done this in 1 hour just to be able to hear each other, but also to at least these cardboard things up here have changed a little bit. But Meredith reminded me that Missoula Resists on their website, they're putting up events all over the area. So please go ahead and look at either the website or the Facebook page. I just want to say thank you so much to the organizing team, but especially to you all for coming out. Literally, we have 300 people here. I don't know how many we have online. We have at least 100 people chiming in, and then we've got MCAT right here. Let's give it up for MCAT. So again, thank you for coming. We'll be following up with information. We'll be getting those questions out. And if you want to stay afterwards to talk for a few minutes, that's great. But the library does close at 8 p.m. We have to move all these chairs out and replace some tables and all over the next 27 minutes. So if you want to help with that, great. If you don't, just come on out here and chat, mingle, and then we're all leaving by 8 p.m. Thank you so much.